back, everybody. So a video that Dan Medawar, my greatest buddy in the world, has agreed to do with me. This Dan is a guitar player again for Magic Bus, lead guitarist and vocalist, and you name it, he does it for them. And this is part of that part 4 series of that Rock-u-mentary, kind of focusing on hippies and things like that, but we'll be talking about whatever. So welcome, Dan. Thanks again for joining.
Thanks for having me, Mark. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
so it seems like way back, it was October last year. It's been a while now, but kind of piecing this together, and it's
Yeah,
still awesome and fresh in my mind, parts of it. And so
mine
I
too.
had the idea of just with the hippie aspect, and
Okay,
I know the songs are awesome songs, and the time period, they're late 60s, but I thought, part of what makes it unique is that the people come and they dress up, and you have memorabilia and you sell merch and stuff like that. So I was going to
sure.
just kind of start with what was the concept, if you recall, kind of how that developed and got
Yeah,
going.
well, from the beginning, Mark Harrington was the founder of the band, and when getting it started, they had this idea of just to play the music of the '60s because we kind of all grew up with that, and the '60s music influenced the '70s and beyond, and everything we do. So
Right.
it was such a profound time, of coming out of the Vietnam War and all this protest and political and stuff, kind of a lot like it is today. It's the world was
Mm,
crazy. So
mm-hmm.
um, the bands had a lot to say in their music and in their words and stuff too. So
Right.
that hippie movement, of the '60s, a lot of us are still around. I think I was 11 when Woodstock was, in
Okay.
1969. So it was kind of before me, but um, a lot of people that come out to the shows, they're either our age or some older and a lot younger, and it
Mm-hmm.
sure seems like even these days there's kind of a younger rebirth of the hippie movement.
Right. Right.
So we see a lot of young people out there that love the music,
Mm-hmm.
and they know every word when we're watching and singing and dancing, and uh, it's the that's the thing that keeps us going because everybody enjoys it so much. The music seems to be timeless,
Right.
and so yeah, it's all part of the fun to get dressed up and
Mm-hmm.
find your inner hippie and go out and have fun with the band and have fun for a night.
Right.
Um,
How long did
and
it take to catch on? Like when you started doing it, and then
yeah, well, we're
kind of
early
developed.
on. The when the band started rolling, they didn't really think about getting dressed up like the '60s or anything. They just wanted to do the music,
Okay.
and the band got together and they took some pictures. This was well before I joined the band because they were going to do some promo stuff, and they kind of got dressed up, in the blue jean thing and maybe some tie dye or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they were looking at the pictures that they took, and they said, "What is missing? It just doesn't look right." And it was the hair. Everybody had
Oh,
short hair.
oops.
Yeah. Right.
Or no hair.
So they thought, why don't we put on some wigs and see what we look like and retake the pictures? And instantly that transformed the look of the band.
Wow.
So before everybody had a chance to grow their hair out like me,
Yeah.
or like the others in the band now, it was, you basically put on a '60s type wig and the
Mm-hmm.
costume to
Mm-hmm.
make it be more of a presentation, more of a show than it was just a band playing the music, right? Something to
Gotcha.
watch as well as something to listen to, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that, you know, I mean, you go to concerts, everybody goes to concerts, and you want to be entertained, right? So
Right.
you go ahead and you're watching intently and you're enjoying the music.
Mm-hmm.
So now people, it throws them back to their high school days, bell bottoms and tie dye and all that stuff. So they're
Yeah.
like I'm going to go out and relive my childhood, basically. And we get so much response from people that see us that to just go, I haven't heard this music in decades, and you guys brought me back to memories of me growing up and this era and stuff like that. So it just, it snowballed from there, and
Okay.
it's just
Yeah.
I gotta pinch myself every time I take the stage, So
Yeah. Yeah, because the footage that I've seen, the shows that I was at, but then I've been to some gigs as well, and
yeah,
it seems like more people than not do dress up. So it is kind of that's whole part of the whole thing.
sure, yeah, it's their opportunity to break out and to relive the
Hmm.
music and relive the time and
Hmm.
stuff like that. And nowadays, like I said, the younger crowd, they're just kind of naturally dressing up like that anyway. So
Yeah. Yeah. Full circle, right?
full circle, really, it really is. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
So then, I noticed obviously you have on the staging, you have the psychedelic banners on the side, and your
Sure.
logo is up there, and have
Yep.
cool lights and things like that. Did
Peace
that kind
signs and stuff.
yeah, did that kind of evolve slowly, or
It definitely evolved slowly.
mhm,
Mark Richards really was the one who took it to the next level with the lighting and the banners and everything to more or less enhance the show to the point where you create an entire environment, if you will.
mhm,
So
yeah,
yeah, it's just it's widely accepted, and it's fun to watch. It makes it funner to watch because there's all these, lasers and
sure,
smoke and all the fancy lights and things like
yeah,
that going on that enhance kind of what we're doing,
hmm,
So
exactly,
the visual part, so
yep,
that really covers that.
yep. And so there's so I know you sent me a couple photos of the bus, the VW bus.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Mark's. Mark's
That's Mike's.
or Mike's.
Mike Bruner's. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And
So,
how did he own that, or did he how
well,
did
he bought it as it was a regular VW bus.
Okay.
And he decided that he was going to have it so when you see the bus itself, it's got the flower power kind of image on it and stuff with all of the
Mm-hmm.
peace signs and wizard and all this other stuff. And it was kind of Mike's idea of a design, and that's actually a vinyl wrap. So it was computer generated and
Okay.
sized to the vehicle, and then they just it just sticks
Wow.
on to the vehicle and makes it, transforms it instead of having
That's
to paint
sweet.
it, right? So
Right. Oh,
but
that's
all
awesome.
all Mike's doing, he took it upon himself to buy a bus, to have it, done the way it is, to fix it up.
Mm-hmm.
He bought a trailer to haul it and everything, because it's, to him, he's like a kid in a candy shop. He's like, I love this band. I love the era of music. He grew up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to do everything he can to enhance the whole experience. So when we bring the bus around to a gig, everybody gathers around and takes pictures with it. And it's definitely a showpiece. And
mm-hmm.
he used to drive it to local gigs with his gear in the back and stuff, but that, look, some maintenance issues and things like that, it's a little bit risky.
Oh, sure.
And plus, when he loads it up, the thing will only do like 40 miles an hour. So
yeah, he's got a lot of equipment. I know that.
So
yeah, I remember.
So he bought a trailer, an enclosed
Yep.
trailer, and you put it in the enclosed trailer and take it with. And
right.
So
right. Oh, that's
I
cool.
have to credit Mike on that. So
yeah, for sure. Put a lot into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, like, some of the hippies and some of the grooviest people that you've seen there, anything stick out as far as maybe some regulars that come back, or someone who wore something just really outrageous, or
well, it's kind of funny. We do have a lot of regulars.
Okay.
And there are a handful, I want to say maybe 4 or 5 people, mainly women,
Mm-hmm.
who are very, creative and crafty, and they make their own costumes, right? So
Okay.
we see people come and they've got something extravagant, something new, because that's what women do. They want to
Right.
be at the next level. And
Sure.
They come around to most of the shows, and I think every time they do come, they come with something a little bit different, and
Oh,
and
cool.
just because that's what they love to do. So
Right. Right.
yeah, so yeah,
I remember Mark saying too, when I was talking to him, he said, I told him I really liked his American flag pants.
oh
And
yeah,
I said, where did you get them? And he told me a story about him making them with Melissa
yeah.
bought some paints or something like
Yeah,
that. And
Melissa bought paints and she painted those jeans about a half hour before we did a show.
oh, that's cool. I think I have a picture of that, so I'll throw that on
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
we were waiting. We had done the setup, sound check, and all that stuff, and we went off to have a bite to eat, and we set up kind of in a corner of a parking lot. And
Hmm.
Melissa breaks out this table and she throws the pants on there and the paints, and the next thing you know, she's painting away.
That's
And Mark
crazy.
wore them for that gig, so
I love it. That is
so
cool.
yeah. And then what on the back side says um, something about peace or whatever. He turns around and there's some words on the back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And you have is there's like a mascot that sometimes you have at some gigs or something or
well, we used to have yeah, it's been a couple
okay.
years, but
Okay.
yeah, Mark Richards created this giant Mr. Cool, if you will. He was probably stood, it was like a big puppet, really. And it was
Okay.
designed to reach up over the crowd and have these peace signs in his hand. And
Okay.
so it would actually attach to Mark on like a backpack kind of a thing, or like a
Oh,
harness.
sweet.
And so he would put this on and he'd operate the hands with these, PVC poles and stuff like
Oh,
that.
right. Yeah.
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 And he would dance through the crowd and walk through the crowd like that. And he'd be above the crowd. You'd see him from like the waist up. This thing like 15, 20 feet tall by the time he's
Jeez.
done.
That's
And,
cool.
he weighed quite a bit. And just after a while, he started to fall apart, and
Oh, okay.
Mark had to
Sure.
rebuild him a few times and stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, Mark is like, it's really exhausting to try to,
Oh, yeah.
strap that thing on and go dance around the crowd for a couple of songs, because Mark is doing lighting and sound and stuff like that, and he would
Hmm.
put everything down and run backstage and put this thing on, come around and do the dance. And yeah, and
That's
it was
cool.
very,
I'll,
very cool. I haven't done it in a couple of years just because it was a
hmm.
little too much to bring. And
Sure.
we've got
Yeah.
so much in lighting now, and then you have to fit Mr. Cool in the back of the van too. It's just
Yeah. Well, it's kind of neat to kind of change it up too,
oh yeah,
every little bit. So that's, maybe that'll
absolutely.
resurface at some point or something.
Yeah, get some young buck to strap it on.
So I know Mark was also saying for the service personnel, I think it's "We Got to Get Out of This Place." That song is
Yeah,
one that he kind of does an honorary to
yeah.
service
There's a
personnel, and
couple of tribute type songs for the guys that were in Vietnam or in
hmm.
any military service. For that fact, a lot of the music that came out of that era was about that stuff. So
Right.
yeah, so he usually dedicates a song or two when we play to the veterans and honors them and thanks them, and
Hmm.
really makes them feel at home and welcome, because that the Vietnam War was a crazy
Oh
time,
yeah.
and it was when soldiers came back, they were not welcome back. you
Mm.
know they weren't heroes like our military is today. They weren't considered
Hmm.
heroes just because it was a senseless war, and they were
Sure.
what they had to do over there. Those people were up in arms about it. So it
Unbelievable.
wasn't their
Yeah.
fault. They're serving our country. They deserve something better. We try to give them a little
Definitely.
bit of that.
That's awesome. Yep.
And, they certainly appreciate it for sure. We've got guys coming up saying, gosh, you're just really touching. And some guys, bring them to tears just for the
Mm.
fact that they finally feel respected and
Awesome.
and thanked for it. So,
That's cool. On so many levels, you guys touch people. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
it's what keeps us going. People are just can't
Right.
believe how the way that it touches them.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it's all fun stuff. So
For sure.
yourself, I know when you and I were there, we were kind of looking around. They had some cool shops, and I have some photos from there, and
Mhm.
some hippie stands and whatnot.
Oh,
And
sure. Yeah.
what's something that you have bought that you think is a cool outfit, something kind of unusual, maybe
Yeah,
that
I
you've
usually browse
found?
the vendors at these festivals just to see what they have because I'd like to
Mm-hmm.
wear,
Mm-hmm.
the shirts or a hat or bracelets and necklaces and things like that.
Right.
And I've come across some items that I've bought,
Mm-hmm.
and wear either that day or at another show or whatever.
Right.
Um, some of it's a little bit out there. I wouldn't wear it, other than
Mm-hmm.
on stage, but
Right.
um, yeah, it's fun to support, the people that are into that
Yeah.
and also update my wardrobe, if you will. I
Sure.
hate wearing the same thing all the time, but
I noticed you guys had a couple outfits. Some of you had a couple outfits each with, oh, you're going to be wearing the necktie today. Okay, I won't wear mine or
yeah.
whatever. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, sometimes it comes together funny. It's I might just bring one outfit to a show or
Hmm.
if we're traveling like we did a couple of dates, I got to bring some variety because you don't know maybe what's the weather going to be like or
Oh yeah. Right.
what's everybody else wearing. So it's funny how Mark, you talk about the flag pants.
Hmm.
There's times where I've got a flag shirt that I wear
Okay.
and Mark and I hit and miss on, when sometimes we both have it on. It's like, okay, we're thinking the same thing,
Right.
and other times we're totally different and whatever.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm wearing a hat and Mark wears a hat and somebody else is wearing a hat or not, bandana, whatever it takes. So
Yeah.
it's kind of I got this closet and you know 10 minutes before I leave the house, I'm like, okay, I got to put something in there. So just throw a bunch of stuff in my suitcase and
That's cool. I know
so
I got caught up in it after I played a little bit. We had gone on vacation, and we were in some store, and my wife was looking around. She's like, "Hey, this could be, if you play again, there's this, there's
yeah,
that,
yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, cool. So it is definitely fun to kind of go down
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
imagination zone there. So
Exactly. No, but I
right.
just the season is starting to ramp up, and we're going to be
Mm,
back out starting in
hmm.
June is busy, and July and
Right.
August are even busier. So we're coming into the season where we're preparing to do some more road trips and things like
Okay.
that, and
Cool.
so we're excited. Um, we always anticipate that, and we put together um, about 7 new songs for this season coming up.
Oh,
We
sweet.
brought back some older ones and we threw in some new ones,
Hmm.
and so we're excited about a couple more
Yeah.
rehearsals, and then we'll be able to be confident when we play those. And
Great. And
so
now that things are hopefully getting back to normal with all this
yeah,
stuff, that helps obviously, right?
yeah, for sure. It it,
Yeah.
it came back fairly decently last year.
Hmm.
We did a lot of outdoor shows, but we did about half of what we normally do just because it's coming out of the COVID
Sure.
age, and you know and this year's busier, so we'll probably have
Hmm.
about 25% more than we did last year. So it's
Okay.
getting
Awesome.
back there.
Yep.
So yeah, looking
Awesome.
forward to it.
Well, I'll
So
definitely be at some more shows here, and
absolutely,
we'll
you better
co-
be.
coax these people out here to come and see you, because you guys are
Yeah.
just super entertaining. Like, even though I've heard the songs a bunch and I played to them a bunch, and
Hmm.
just you hear them, and I catch myself too. Now I'll be driving and one of those songs will come on the radio. It's like, oh, I got to listen to it now.
Yeah.
Heard it a
Exactly.
100 times, but
Yeah. Practiced it
so
50 times, heard it a
right,
hundred. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I don't get tired of playing the songs. It's just, I don't know, something about it. It's just,
right, yep.
you spent the weekend with the guys and it's just a great chemistry, and
Mm-hmm.
we make it fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's
Fantastic.
just a great opportunity. So
Cool. All
yeah.
right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish you guys all the best luck this year on the road and
Thank you,
around
Mark.
locally and whatever. And I'll I'll post some of the dates and stuff like that too, so the
Okay.
any viewers can catch you. And
Sure.
and you know, we'll maybe do something else with
Yep.
with this. So
Absolutely. Yep.
cool.
Yep. Appreciate it. Yep.
All right, brother.
Okay, Mark.
Until next time.
Take care. Yep.
Take it easy.
We'll see you, man.
Peace, brother.
Bye.
All right. Bye bye.